All right, so let's take a small family and show how you would decide with very little information if this is a match. So here we have John and Lucy Castleberry. If we open up their details, we have no dates for their birth to compare across. The only thing that we have is a marriage date in Jefferson, Alabama. Jefferson, Alabama over here is a match, but it's just not enough to go on to actually see if this is correct. We need to be able to confirm that these birth dates are a possible match. So we are going to click on John. I usually have the best bet finding the marriage records and things by clicking on the male of the household, because the female, I don't know, sometimes with a surname versus married name, things might not work out. So I typically just gravitate towards the male, click open the name card, right click or use two fingers on a trackpad and open that up in a new tab so that we have two different tabs here across the top that we can use. All right, so we are mainly looking to see if there are any blue record hints for the marriage. So that's what we want to do, is look at all of these different record hints, which are going to open up in a separate source linker panel. And so it's easy to get confused, and that's why I want to walk through step by step what I'm doing here. I click on the name once, review and attach, and that will open it up in a new window. So here we have the marriage record, as opposed to what we were doing earlier in Source Linker. If we'll look across the top over here, we have his person page that we opened up, and here we have the 1910 census that we originally came from. So we're coming back over to this new tab, the Alabama County marriages, and noticing what if this source is a match. Marriage is 14th of December, 1908, Jefferson, Alabama. This is indeed the same couple. While we're here, we're going to go ahead and attach this source. It didn't give us any new information yet, but we're just working our way down this list. So I exited out of that new tab, came back to his person page, and we're going to click on the next one. Click review and attach. Again, it opens up in a new tab up here, and here we have the Alabama marriages. And here we have the jackpot of information. So we got to make sure that this is the right person. The marriage, 14th of December, 1908, Jefferson, Alabama. This is the same people, but this version of the indexed record includes his birth year. So we are going to add his birth year over. So now when we compare Lucy's information, we'll see that she also has a birth year, and we are going to pull that over. So now let's close out of that tab and close out of this tab. And here we are back in Source Linker for the United States Census 1910. Here we have our original John and Lucy. We are going to go up and click refresh. That will pull in their birth dates here now, and we can start comparing like we did before. So we have John Castleberry, 1881, 1882. It's a pretty good match based on ages. Lucy Maxwell and Lucy Castleberry, 1893 to 1890. So I would say that based on the location of Jefferson, Alabama, and such close birthdays, that this is indeed a match, and I would feel confident to go ahead and compare these across. So you can see when there's only 2 or maybe 3 people given on a census, it's a little bit harder to make sure that we're attaching to the right person. Let's go ahead and check out one more example. I'm going to close out of this tab, and here we see a new family in the United States Census 1910. We have Frank Huff and Ludelia Samuel. And we have a different spelling over here. And let's go in and see if we can find anything out. Again, there's absolutely no dates listed in here. So click on Frank, open him in a new tab. And we're just going to go through these blue record hints and see if any of these might contain any clues. All right, so this one was not it didn't give us any more information, but it is the right marriage. So 22nd January 1895, East Birmingham, Jefferson, Alabama. So we're going to go ahead and attach it since we're here. Add any new information over. And we're going to go to the next one and see if this one leads us in any clues. This one, again, does not have any additional birthdays or information that way, but we're going to go ahead and add it over since we're here. And let's go to the next one. Again, this is the same marriage, but no additional birth years or ages listed. Going to go ahead and attach it. And we've done all three of these, but we see that there's 7 blue record hints total. So we're going to refresh this page, or you can click on show all there and it would bring up into a new screen. But I like to just refresh, and here we see that it has 1 more marriage record and then 2 more census record hints. So we're going to click on this last marriage one and see if this gives us anything. The marriage records are our best bet, but they don't always provide a estimated birth year. And it doesn't look like this one does. So we're going to go ahead and attach it because we did notice that it is the correct marriage. And we're going to close that out. So we are working in the 1910 census. So this blue record hint is exactly what we're trying to find, and we don't have enough information to connect it. So let's take one more look at the 1900 census and see if anything there might provide us a clue. All right, so it has an estimated birth, January 1875 in Georgia, and the residence is in Jefferson, Alabama, which, I mean, it's the same county here, Jefferson, Alabama. So it could be the same people. Let's compare Ladelia. All right, this one has a birth and a possible residence. So nothing yet, but we're not out of luck. So let's go take a look at the 1900 census, because this is what's great about the 1900 census is the information that's contained about their marriage. So let's open up the image and zoom in. We are looking for Frank and Ladelia Huff. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. I'm just kind of scrolling through here, finding their name real quick. All right, they're right at the bottom here. All right, so we have Frank and Ladelia Huff, and it has these dates here, 1875, 1874. They are both 25 years old, it looks like. And they are married, and there is 6 years in their current marriage. So in 1900, if they've been married for 6 years, what year does that make it? Which would mean that they were married around 1894. Let's go back and look and see if these marriage dates that we added were 1894 or roundabout. We see that the marriage was 1895. We added it multiple times. So the fact that they've been married for 6 years on the 1900 census leads us to believe that this might be the right people. Let's go back to the 1900 census. And here we see, if we look into the actual image of the census, it should tell us their marriage information as well. Here we have Frank and Ladelia, and they have been married for 16 years in the 1910 census. So that really leads me to believe that they might be the same people. But there's one glaring major difference. In the 1910 census, he's listed as 43 years old and she's listed as 35 years old. Let's hop back over to the 1900 census. And here we see that they were only, one was born in 1875, one is born in 1874, that they're both about the same age. So either it's a census error or this is not the same family. Let's take some more context clues. Here on the 1900 census, we have Frank Huff, born in Georgia, and both of his parents are born in Georgia. Ledelia is born in Alabama, and both of her parents born in Alabama. Let's go see on the 1910 census if that's a match. Here we have Frank and Ledelia, and it says that both of them are born in Alabama, and both sets of their parents are born in Alabama. I am just not convinced that we have enough information to connect these people on the 1910 or 1900 census. Unfortunately, not everyone results in a great match. I would still be about 80% confident that it is, and that there was some error on the census interview part on one of the years, but we are not confident, and so we are not going to attach these records for this small family. So that's the main difference between the first family that we attached. We found a good marriage source that listed their age, versus here we tried looking at marriage records and census records, but to no avail. Further research and further work on behalf of their own biological family is going to need to be done to determine if this is a match. All right, sorry if this is throwing you into the deep end, or maybe that was a head spin, but that's how we typically go about trying to determine if a small family should be attached to the tree or not.